Have you ever wondered about the very first people who lived right here on this subcontinent millions of years ago? I'm talking about our earliest ancestors, the hunter-gatherers. Their story is absolutely fascinating, and it's a story of survival, intelligence, and constant movement. So, why were they always on the move? Let's dive in and find out. First, let's understand who these people were. We call them hunter-gatherers, and that name pretty much sums up their lifestyle. It comes from how they got their food. They were incredibly resourceful. They hunted wild animals, caught fish, and snared birds. But that's only half the story. They were also expert botanists. They gathered a huge variety of plant-based foods: fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, stalks, and even eggs. In a tropical land like ours, with its incredible diversity of plants, gathering was just as important, if not more important, than hunting. Now, none of this was a walk in the park. Think about it. Hunting required immense skill. Many animals are faster and stronger than us. To successfully hunt, these early people needed to be incredibly alert, quick on their feet, and have a sharp presence of mind. It was a high-stakes game of strategy and endurance. Imagine trying to outsmart a deer or face down a wild boar with only simple tools. It demanded teamwork, deep knowledge of animal behavior, and nerves of steel. Gathering was no less challenging. It was a science. You couldn't just pick any plant and start munching. You had to know which plants were edible and which were poisonous. A single mistake could be fatal. They needed a mental encyclopedia of flora, understanding which parts of a plant to eat and which to avoid. Also had to be masters of timing, knowing the exact season when different fruits would ripen. Imagine the skills and knowledge passed down through generations. The children in these communities would have learned to identify hundreds of plants, track animals, and read the subtle signs of nature. Do you think you'd have those skills today? It's a humbling thought, isn't it? So, this brings us to the core question. Why didn't they just settle down? Why the constant movement? Archaeologists believe there are at least 4 major reasons for their nomadic lifestyle. The first reason is simple: resource depletion. If a group of hunter-gatherers stayed in one spot for too long, they would eventually eat up all the local food. The plants would be picked clean. The nearby animal population would either be hunted out or move away. To survive, they had to pack up and find a new area rich with food. It was a natural cycle of use and recovery, ensuring that the land had time to regenerate. The second reason is all about following the food. Animals don't stay in one place, do they? Herds of deer or wild cattle would migrate in search of fresh grass and leaves. Predators would follow these herds. So, if your main source of protein is on the move, you have to move with it. The hunters had to follow the migratory patterns of their prey, sometimes across vast distances. Their lives were tied to the rhythm of the animal kingdom. The third reason has to do with the seasons. Just like today, different plants and trees bear fruit at different times of the year. A spot that was abundant with berries in the summer might be barren in the autumn. To maintain a varied and stable diet, hunter-gatherers would move from season to season, following the ripening of different plants. They might be in the lowlands in spring to gather certain roots and then move to the hills in late summer for a specific type of fruit. Their calendar was the calendar of nature itself. And the fourth, and perhaps most crucial reason, is water. People, plants, and animals all need water to survive. It's the source of all life. While some rivers and lakes are perennial, meaning they have water all year round, many others are seasonal. They might be gushing rivers during the monsoon, but completely dry up in the winter or summer. People living on the banks of these seasonal water sources would have no choice but to move during the dry seasons, searching for a place with a reliable supply of water. Beyond these four fundamental needs of food and water, there was also a social element. People likely traveled to meet friends and relatives, to trade, to share stories, and to strengthen community bonds. These journeys weren't just about survival. They were about connection. And here's something to really put it all in perspective. They traveled everywhere on foot. Think about your daily commute. All at 2. How'd you get to school or work? How long would it take you to walk there? Now, imagine your entire world being defined by how far you could walk. A journey to visit relatives in a neighboring valley could take days or even weeks. Their endurance and knowledge of the landscape was simply incredible. So, the next time you see a depiction of early humans, remember they weren't just wandering aimlessly. Their movements were a calculated, intelligent, and necessary response to the world around them. They were expert survivors, deeply in tune with the natural world. Possessing skills and knowledge that we can only marvel at today, their nomadic life was a testament to human adaptability and ingenuity. Thanks so much for watching and exploring this piece of our ancient past with me. If you found this fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more journeys back in time. See you in the next video.